In the re-up tonight, we're talking about gun control and the State of the Union address. Joining me in the conversation, Peter James Callahan.
How you doing, Richard?
Good. You know, I think the president came out he came out really strong on guns. I think it was probably the best part of the speech, especially towards the end where he said, Gabby deserves a vote, Hadiyah deserves a vote, Tucson deserves a vote. And I think that is what we wanted to hear from the president, and that leadership is what we're going to need to take us through, you know, getting it through the House and Senate.
And the oratory, especially in that passage, was amazing. It was like old school, very, very congregation-esque. Like
it was more so poetic than I would say speechy.
Yeah. He was like he's preaching to him.
It was awesome. It was less of a prose and more of a poetry.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
You know, how far do you think this gets us, though, you know, Pete, from your vantage point?
Yeah, that's the big question. You still got to get the votes in the House. I think the GOP is not going to play nice on this one. I don't think you got to get a few facts to make this work, and I'm not sure if I see the votes there.
But even, I mean, do you think they'll even get the possibility of them even possibly getting background checks?
Maybe.
I mean, the assault rifles ban, I think it's going to be a hard stretch.
Won't happen. I could see background checks getting by on its own pretty easily because something like 90% of NRA members even support background checks.
You know, I think you're right there, and I think the question is what will the Republicans do? And I think the interesting thing about the whole conversation about gun control is we really haven't seen any, you know, movement from the Republican Party on trying to, you know, at least coming out with their own position that will sort of that sort of at least neuters the president's position. They just been like, no, no, no. And I think that's what they need to do to change their strategy.
And because on every issue, the GOP is beholden to the most extreme radical part of the right wing in politics in this country. So they think that 10% of NRA people who don't approve of background checks, that's the audience they're trying to reach with their policies.
And and I think even if they reach that audience, it's just not going to do enough for them. It's just not. It's not going to do enough for them to be able to really and truly, get a win here.
They're not going to get anything out of it, and it's something then that, like the NRA, if you go for any kind of gun reform, won't give you money in the next cycle for anything.
Right, and that's what we've seen people like, Joe Manchin sort of walk back his comments that he originally made after Newtown. So we also seen folks like Mark Warner sort of, teeter and totter.
Right.
We've seen a lot of different movement, I think, but, at the end of the day, I think if there's no filibuster in the Senate, I could see them passing some sort of comprehensive form of gun control. And I think the president really laid the gauntlet down last night, and I think the Republicans didn't really do a good job of answering it.
Yeah, I think this probably easily passes in the Senate because you can probably get a couple of Republican senators to turn on this one too, and then it's going to be dead on arrival in the House. And
I don't know about that, Pete. I think there's a possibility for them that they bring it to the House and it comes to the floor.
Mm-hmm. That's the other thing. That's my biggest worry actually, is that we don't ever see a vote on this in the House.
And I think that's the Republicans. That's their only strategy. The only strategy they have is, we just won't bring it to the floor.
Right.
And I think the president did a good job of addressing that as well yesterday when he sort of began this conversation saying, listen, you might not like my ideals. You might not think they're great ideals. I don't care. What I'm asking for is a vote.
Right.
Because a lot of these ideals are bipartisan.
Oh, yeah. They
by
definitely
old
are.
school Republicans in the Democratic Party.
Yes.
You get the entire Democratic caucus, and you need about 15 Republicans to jump ship.
Right. And I think the other issue, too, I think Boehner's having enough problem keeping his own members in line, and that if he then brings this to a vote, they're going to be like, we already hate you, we hate you more now.
Right, but I think that doesn't, they already hate him. Hate is hate.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to throw bones on people by not bringing it to the floor.
What does that get? What does that gain John Boehner?
It gains cover for people in moderate districts that don't want to vote for this, but would have to.
Or would have to vote against it.
Right.
Yeah, I guess you might be right there. I think the jury's still out on that. I think at the end of the day, I think what's really important for everybody out there to understand is that we have to do something on gun control. I think the time is now. I think the moment is ripe for it. The question is will we see, will the president see some action on it? I actually think I'm more optimistic than Peter on this one. I think the president will see a little bit of action on this.
I'm pulling from. I think there's a time clock on this too. I think that the farther we get away from Newtown, the harder it becomes to pass this or even bring it to a vote.
But that's where I disagree. I think the farther we get from Newtown, you might be right, but at the same time, even though that's the case, we're still going to see more and more gun violence,
Right.
like Hadiyah, and what the White House is going to do, and what progressives should continue to do, is isolate those one-off stories and make that part of the narrative, and I'm going to talk about this later on in the show, so stay with us for that part. But the whole idea of isolating and telling our story,
with that human face on it,
right, and not from the political elected lens, but from the actual people.
No abstractions.
No abstractions.